When Emma uncovered the letter, she had no idea what it was really unlocking. But across town, a different story was quietly unfolding. A man whose life had been tied to the letter for far longer than Emma could imagine was waiting. And he's been waiting by the tracks for years, holding on to a secret that could change everything. What does he know? And how is his past connected to what Emma's just uncovered? The truth is closer than anyone realizes, but it's buried in the silence between the train tracks and the letter that started it all. Get ready for part 2. He waited 70 years at the same bench. Then a little girl found the truth. The town of Elmridge had its ghosts. Not the kind that creaked floors or slammed doors, but the quiet kind. The kind that lived in memories, in old buildings, in people like Charles Whitmore. Charles was 82, and the townspeople mostly knew him as the man by the tracks. Every Sunday, without fail, he'd walk the mile-long path from his cottage to the abandoned railway station. He'd sit alone on the same wooden bench under the rusted iron clock, hands folded, gaze fixed on the horizon like he was waiting for a train that would never come. Children made up stories about him. Some said he was waiting for a lost brother. Others, that he was once a spy, and this was his meeting point. No one dared ask him why he went. They only whispered and wondered. But this Sunday was different. Emma stood a few feet from the bench, watching the old man with a flutter of nerves in her chest. The letter, carefully folded in her coat pocket, seemed to burn against her side. She had spent the last few days gathering clues. Her grandmother's photo albums, town archives, and the postmark on the letter all had pointed here. She stepped forward. "Excuse me, sir," she said quietly. Charles didn't look at her at first. His eyes stayed on the horizon. "I found something," she continued. "A letter. From someone named Isabelle." His head turned. Slowly, his pale blue eyes met hers, and something deep behind them flickered. Recognition, maybe pain. Emma pulled the letter from her coat and held it out to him. "I found it in my grandma's attic. It's dated 1954. It was never sent." He stared at the envelope like it was a ghost. His hands trembled as he reached for it. He didn't speak for a long time. "I wrote her," he said hoarsely, but she never answered. Not until now. Emma sat beside him. The wind rustled through the brittle trees. Silence stretched between them, heavy and full. "She did write back," Emma whispered. "The letter just never reached you." Charles's lips parted. A shuddering breath escaped. "I came here that day," he said. "March 19th, 1954. I waited for hours under this clock. I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe she changed her mind." Emma's eyes welled. She said she'd be here. She said it might be your only chance. He closed his eyes. "We were in love, but her family moved away suddenly. Her father didn't approve of me. He pulled her out of town before we could say goodbye." He opened the letter with shaking fingers. As he read Isabelle's words, something in him seemed to soften, like a long-frozen river cracking open under the warmth of spring. "She came," he murmured. "She waited. We missed each other by a mistake, by a lost letter." Emma looked up at the broken clock. It still stuck at 5:02. Charles nodded. "It was 5:02 when I gave up." A silence fell again, but this one was gentler, shared. Emma broke it carefully. There might be more. More letters. More pieces to this. He looked at her with something close to hope. "Then we'll find them," he said. Together, the old man and the young girl sat beneath the broken clock. 2 generations connected by time, by loss, and now by the chance to make something whole again. He stood by the tracks every day, waiting for something he thought was lost forever. But now, the letter has resurfaced, and the past is stirring. The man's silence hides 1,000 stories, but only one person ever knew the truth behind them. Her name was Isabelle, and her voice, it still exists, written in ink, buried in time, and hidden where no one thought to look. In part 3, Isabelle's journal, the truth finally speaks.